Hey guys, it's Hannah here, and after some requests, I will finally be showing you how I set up my planners. I'll be giving away all of my secrets, but they're not really secrets since I have shown you my setups many times before. And if you want a complete playlist with all of my planner setups, you can find that up here. Just click the little eye icon. Either way, I do very rarely keep the original items in a planner when I buy it. And that's just because I love to customize it and make it my own. I honestly love it so much that a lot of times I set up a planner just for the fun of it without having any real idea or use for the planner at the time. I just love to create different setups. So if I have a planner and enough items to create a cohesive theme, then I just go for it. But because it usually takes me a day or sometimes days to set up a planner though, I will be showing most of the process in a time lapse. So I hope that's okay. I will also be making several shorter videos. Who knows how short they will actually be though, instead of just one long video. And that's just because it takes so long and I don't want to have like a 2-hour video. Even if it's all through time lapse, I don't want to have like a 2-hour video of everything. And I'm not exactly 100% sure of this yet. I will kind of figure it out as I go and set up the planner, but so far I'm pretty sure that the different parts will be number 1, dividers, number 2, divider decoration, and then pocket decoration, and then the top view. So it's mostly decorative. This is all about like how I create a cohesive theme and put it and make it pretty in my planner. So if you want to get some tips, then this is the video for you. Or maybe I should call this a series, since there will be different videos within this, well, category. It's a little how-to series maybe. So today, in the very first part, I will be making, like I said, dividers. And this is something that I love to do because it just adds so much to your planner, and it's also a really good base for the theme. But before we start, I just want to say that before we do anything at all, I always recommend to have a theme for a setup, like I have kind of already mentioned. For me personally, it either starts with having a certain colorway with a planner that I want to use, or having a certain like subscription box or kit that I can kind of build my setup on. Now I love to mix and match different items from different shops. It's like my favorite part. So that's something that I recommend you kind of do as well. Some people love to have like just really random, just put everything you love into one. Personally, I love to have a colorway or a theme that matches and that kind of goes together, but we all have different styles. Like I'm a very matchy girl. I love to find similar colors and add them together. But of course we're not all that way, and that's fine. But to me it's important to have a theme, and if you're uncertain on how to start, that's something I really recommend that you do as well. So getting into what I'm actually going to use in this little video series how-to thingy. The planner I'm gonna use is pretty obvious, it's already here in front of me. It is my Kikki K Life is Wonderful A5 planner. Now I actually received this from Kikki K as a kind of gift because I'm one of the planner insiders. And I have a kind of walkthrough of that video as well, which I will link up here again. And I have taken everything out, pretty much everything that I had in here previously, except for the dividers and the inserts. And that's because I want to use the same inserts in here. I am going to replace the dividers though, but I didn't want to take these out before I had the new ones so that not all of the pages end up being just a big chunk of papers, because that could be a little hard to reorganize afterwards. So for now, they're still in here. If you want to see what this setup looked before I took everything out, I will link that up here as well. Now, for the actual setup, I am going to be using a lot of items from the Hello Petite paper fall tea kit. Here's just kind of a little glance to get the idea of the colors. And I'm also going to use items from the Simply Gilded August box called Lavender Fields, as you can see. And in my eyes, I kind of see similarities between these colors and these colors. So I hope I can make these work and look nice together. Combining 2 different kits from 2 completely different shops is just kind of a typical way of me mixing and matching, but still creating a cohesive theme. As long as they have a similar color scheme, I'm pretty sure I can make it work. Alright, so now let's just get started. So I'm putting away the planner for now and everything else you see here. So from the Hello Petite paper kit, I have the papers, and these are gorgeous. Here's just a little taste of what they look like. And they are also double-sided, which is perfect in this case because these are going to be my dividers. And what's so perfect about it is that these papers are in A4 format. They're not letter size, it's A4, which is perfect because when I cut it in half for my A5 planner, these automatically become A5, which is perfect. I love that. Makes it really easy. And since they're also double-sided, I don't really need to make them pretty on the other side. At least not adding a different type of paper at least. Because if they're single-sided, sometimes you have to like glue together two different papers to make them pretty on each side. Unless you don't mind if it's like white. And this kit also came with these stickers, as I showed. These are tab stickers and they're meant for you to just, you know, take it off and then fold and stick onto your divider so you can easily flip them. We have 6 here and I'm gonna use all 6, I believe. I hope that these are not too small for, you know, A5 size. I know that usually this is a TN kit, so it's meant for smaller sizes. Usually TNs are B6 or A6, but I hope this will work. I really hope so. So putting these aside just a little bit because, as I said, I'm going to cut them. So I have my big old paper cutter here and I have the camera zoomed out at max, and it still doesn't fit, but I hope this will be enough for you anyway. So yeah, let's see, I'm going to have 6 dividers, and just first I'm going to count how many papers I have. So there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means that if I cut all of these in half, I have 10 pages, which means I have 4 more than I actually need. So that means I don't, but then again, I'm going to want to have a dashboard and I'm also going to want to have a page lifter in the back. So 6 plus 2 is 8. That means I need 8 pages. So maybe I should cut all of them because maybe I do want all of them to be different. I'm going to have to mix, like some of them will have to be one side and some will have to be the other side. That's good when they're double-sided because here technically I get 10 different papers I can use in my planner. So I think I'm just gonna cut all of them actually. I want to use as many different ones as possible, so I don't want to leave a single paper like design out of this. So yeah, I'm just gonna get started. Something I do is I always take a design that is like my least favorite when I'm cutting and laminating, because if something goes wrong, I don't take my favorites first, because that has happened before and it's not fun. I'm just gonna cut all of these in half, and I have these kind of guidelines here. So here it says A5 is, which does look accurate. So here we go. And they are, I feel like my cutter, either the papers are a bit different or the cutter is not 100%, because as you can see, it's actually a few millimeters too long. So I feel like that's interesting. I'm going to have to check all of them so that they're the same, otherwise it could look a little weird in the planner, but that's the first one. Let's continue. So I couldn't figure out which way was too short and which was too long, if I should put it more this way or this way to make it the same, but as you can see, they're all like this. So this isn't too big of a deal because I'm going to laminate them, which means they're all gonna have an edge, but I do want them to be the same, so I am just gonna cut off a few millimeters of the ones who are too long. So now all of them should be about the same. Yeah, it's about as perfect as it could be. So actually, let me just see. There's one here that stands out in particular. I am a perfectionist, so that's also a reason why all of this takes longer And also a reason why I wanted to divide the videos into parts. There we go. That should do it. Okay, so now I want to find all the ones that are the same. As you can see, there are 5 different designs because there were 5 papers, and each of them have its own backside. So what's next now is to pick the dividers I want to use. And what also plays in here is what dashboard I want to use and the page lifter in the back. But I'm actually thinking about if I should make a page lifter. Sometimes I just leave the last divider and don't have any pages behind it, and that kind of becomes a page lifter on its own. I don't need a page lifter if it becomes a problem, like if I can't have a unique design or if it looks weird. If I can't have a page lifter, I will. Sometimes what I do is that I make a dashboard, which is usually my very favorite paper, and then I make a page lifter out of the paper that is my second favorite. So that way I technically have 2 dashboards, since a page lifter is just a dashboard at the very back of your planner. So if I want to switch the dashboard, I can actually put the page lifter up front and put the main dashboard as the page lifter. So maybe I'll do that. I have a few favorite papers, but because the planner is this color, I feel like I want the dashboard to be a bit of contrast. I don't want, let's say the pumpkins here, for example, are a very light color. I feel like having that as a dashboard makes it all very light. So that way I feel like maybe I should use this as a dashboard. I mean, I could just open the planner like this and see what I like, you know, like this. I was thinking of having this one, but now I feel like maybe it's too much of the same color, too much pink maybe. Also, what plays in here is that I want to use this card that also came with the kit as like the kind of card on the dashboard. So I want this one to go right here. So the paper behind it needs to be a contrasting color, which makes me think that this could be a really good dashboard because it's darker, it's a big contrast, and when I put this one on here, it kind of becomes a border, and it's kind of clear that it's a border and it's different. It doesn't blend in too much. That's something I think is important. So I think I'm gonna go as this one as the dashboard. So the question is now, what should be the page lifter? So I really like this paper. I think this paper might be my favorite. I feel like these two are too similar. So if I pick this one, I can't use this one as the page lifter because I feel like... Okay, so I'm gonna have to wait with the page lifter. I can't really decide which one to use. I do know that this is gonna be my dashboard though. So I'm gonna put these aside. So this is kind of what I have left. So 6 dividers. 6 is what I'm gonna have. So think about it this way. I have this, and then I turn it. This is the back of that. But it's gonna look good. So I feel like the bows are really cute. So I think I'm gonna make these bows the first actual divider, okay? So then I want to have a contrast to that. I think this one could be good. That's a good contrast. Also these are also pretty on the back. Okay, so this is the first divider, second divider. I don't want florals on the same again because that could look kind of weird. So here we have another one. Also good to have different patterns on the back. So 1, 2, 3. I need 3 more. Now I can have another floral where I feel like this one comes in. But then again, now all we kind of have is the same. I have 4 here and I still need 2 more, which means I only have 1 left. This is also a potential page lifter, so I feel like I need to mix and match the more plain patterns to make this work, which means maybe I do make it this way, but maybe, let's say I put this one here instead with this side, then maybe I put this one. I don't like to have the same dividers. Like if I were to have this one here, then again it doesn't really look bad, I guess, because you never see the dividers together because there's always pages in between. Let's see, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we have 6 dividers. I think this is it. So I'm gonna have this one as a page lifter, perhaps with the bows, because it's so cute. I'm gonna take away these 2 because these are kind of left over. And I'm also just gonna take away this big boy. So what we have here now is the set of dividers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I also have the dashboard, which I feel like really goes, oh gosh, it goes really well as the first one. And then we have the last one here, An alternative dashboard I have, or just card, because this kit came with this card, which has this, actually this is the same on the back, which is interesting, was also this. This one says, leaves are falling, autumn is calling. So if I decide to have this as a dashboard, the question is, which one does this one look better on? Answer is this one definitely, because I feel like this one kind of disappears with the flowers, it's the same. And here, it kind of pops a little bit more. How does this one look on here? Also disappears. So because this one has more going on as it is, it needs to be on a simpler background, I feel like. Actually, maybe that's a good idea, to make one dashboard that is a bit more busy, which this one is, so you can put a more simple card on, and having more simple dashboards, you can put a more, I guess, busy, detailed card on it. Actually, that's kind of logical, I realize. So, also these will not be laminated together. I always put these separately on. I just take some like washi and make it double-sided and then stick it onto the laminated divider, or dashboard I mean. I am not gonna laminate these yet because I usually like to laminate everything at once. But I am going to finish the dividers now, because as you remember, I have these stickers, which I wanna put these first and then laminate them, because the stickers themselves are kind of, they're really thin, so they don't have a lot of sturdiness in them as they are. That's why I want to laminate them as well. Now it's just to figure out which sticker goes on which divider, which one will look the best. So first we have this divider. The first one should not have a light pink one. It could maybe have maybe a blue one. Yeah, I think the blue one will look good on this one. So I'm just kind of hoping that these will look nice. So I'm starting with this one. Now I haven't really used these type of dividers before. I wonder how much I want it to stick out. I feel like, do you put it all the way here or do you let it stick out a little bit? I see people that do it like halfway, and I see also people that do it all the way like this. If I do it this way, I feel like you don't have much to take. Like it's not much to grab on, just a bow there. So I feel like maybe I should give it some more, maybe like that. And then you're just supposed to do it like this. Oh gosh. So there we have the tab. As you can see, it's kind of see-through. I don't know if you can see that, but that's because it's kind of thin sticker paper. As the perfectionist I am, I also like to do this and kind of even out, because it kind of gets edges once you know, stick it down, and I want it to look nice. Okay, so I did another thing here. I kind of realized that this back of this paper is kind of my least favorite out of them all, which means that I don't really want to highlight this one, and making it a divider is kind of highlighting it. I love this side though with the pumpkins, but I already have it here. So I found this side, which it's just a fabric kind of, I guess, woven fabric, and I think I really like this blue color and I think it's pretty, so I kind of exchanged it like this, and I feel like that looks really good too. I'm just gonna see how it looks from the back. Yeah, that still looks good. So I changed that, and that was just a little change. So now this is the second one. Now the question is, I hate math, but I do kind of need to use some math. So one tab is, let's see, 3.7 centimeters. So if I have 3.7, okay, I realized something, that if I do put all of the 6 just where the other one ends, I will only fit 4.5 on here. So I need to overlap them a little. Question is how much? Okay, so this just got a little hard. I think to make this work better, because I want them, you know, this one starts up here and I want the last one to end right here. So I guess I'm gonna take the last one. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna choose this one as the last one. Okay, so there we go. Now I have the first and the last, and now I kind of get the idea how much space I actually have in between. I'm pretty sure I need to overlap them at least to here. So I'm gonna go like zigzag so that if it is uneven, it's kind of at least symmetrical in the way that it starts from the outside and kind of gets tighter to the inside. At least I hope this will look okay. I don't have any undo and I don't really have any way to take this sticker off once I'm finished. So yeah, but I'm gonna do this one and I am gonna use the pink one like I said. So to do this, of course, I do kind of need to measure. And I'm just hoping that this looks good. Oh, that one got a little taller than the other one. Well, it's not perfect, but it's not gonna be because it's handmade. Then I'm gonna take the second to last, which is gonna be on top of this one. And I'm gonna measure that. So this is what we have so far. Now there will be 2 more dividers to fit. I think it's gonna be pretty good actually. It's almost like these were made for A5, which is surprising. Like how would you even fit these in any other planner if you use all of them? Either way, so the next one is this one, which I'm going to have to measure to these 2, and I was thinking. Right, and then we have just one left. Ooh, gosh, I feel like there's too much space, guys. How is that even gonna look? It's like all of them are overlapping and this one won't like overlap at all. Oh, that's not good. Is there any way I can take this one off and start again? Okay, so I know this now, that it needs to be... Oh, no, wrong end. Let's see. Is it this way? Yes. It needs to be further down. So I have to measure that. I mean, this looks a little weird. It will work better now, I think. So... Oh, let's hope, guys. Let's hope that it looks good. I mean, it is a little uneven, but I think it's pretty okay. So now I'm just gonna cut the little edges that kind of gets there when you fold the stickers, and then I'll be back. All right, guys, so here they are. We have the tabs and the dividers here. I think this is so pretty. It's gonna look so pretty in the planner. And I can just throw this one away now because it's empty. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to laminate them. And for that, of course, I need a laminating machine. This is the one that I have and use. I got this one from Staples, as you might be able to tell. So I'm just gonna plug this one in and wait for it to heat up, and then we'll get started. All right, so the laminator light is green, which means I can go and start laminating, but I will put this one aside just for a little bit first. And also, I'm not gonna be laminating these first. I'm actually gonna start with the dashboards, but very first I think I'm gonna start with the backing, since that's, if I mess up, if something goes wrong, that's the least important one, because this one can be easily replaced by one of the other papers I have left over. So, the laminating pouches I use are also from Staples. I got them at the same time as the laminating machine, and they're just A4 laminating pouches, and they're the glossy kind, since glossy looks best on color paper. So I'm just taking a pouch. If you've ever laminated anything, you probably already know how this works, but I'm gonna be speeding through this mostly anyway, because I have two different because it's not one cohesive sheet, I don't think I'll be able to put both of them in at once, but I will try. Let's see, I don't think it will be enough space. So this is the sad part when you laminate two A5 sheets and not one cohesive A4 sheet, is that you can't, because you're gonna cut here, there needs to be enough room to do that, and it just doesn't work. Even if I made these a little smaller, I cut there's some axes, you know. I can't, so I'm gonna have to do one at a time, which means I have like pretty much, I always get 1/2 pouch left over, but I do use these for other things. So I also check, because sometimes dust could get in between and that doesn't look very nice. This looks fine though, so let us get started. And there we go, that worked just fine. So that's perfect. Now I'm just gonna put this one aside. Actually, I usually just put them here so I know that they're finished. And now I'm just gonna do the same with the dashboard. That also worked fine. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna put this one here. And now it is time to go in for the actual dividers. And I am gonna start with the back one first. I always do this because, I don't know, I don't trust myself or I don't trust the machine. I don't know which. If something messes up, it's better to lose a few here than lose the top, because without the top ones it looks kind of weird, but you can go without having the bottom. At least I can. So that's just something I do. So I guess I'm just gonna make them the opposite side, and it's just gonna be time lapse since I'm gonna do all of them at once. Alright, so that was all of them. So I'm turning off my laminator, putting it to the side, and here we are. So now we have all of them, both the dividers and the dashboards here. So next is to cut them all and get rid of all the axes, which there's always a lot of. I don't like to waste things, but in this case I really don't have a choice. But I try to make the best use of the axes as possible. Sometimes I use it as like a sticky note dashboard in the back. Sometimes, actually a lot of times, I cut them up and make little washi cards, which I'm actually planning on making for this setup. But yeah, so let's just get my cutter up here again. All right, here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna start to cut the dashboards because they're the easiest. Since they don't have any tabs, it's just to cut straight. And it ended up being a little crooked, as you can see. This happens a lot to me. You can see the edge here is really thin and then it gets thicker all the way. But as long as there's no risk of it starting to like pull up, like if air gets into the lamination, then it's fine and I don't see any problem on that here. Then I also cut the edges because this gets really sharp, but that's something I do after I have cut off the axis. So that was the first piece. Let's do the second one here. Try to get a better edge. Yeah, that's better. The first one is always the worst usually. You get a little rusty when you haven't done it in a while, so that's a lot better. And now I'm just gonna do the dividers. And once again, I'm starting with this one because I can't cut straight here since, you know, there's a tab there. I do usually cut though as far as I can to get a straight line, because it's not gonna get that straight if I cut it by hand. As far as I dare before there's a risk of cutting you know, here. And then I do the rest by hand. But first I do this, and then I get into... For time efficiency, I always do the same kind of segment all at the same time on all the same things, and then I move on to the next segment. Alright, so that was that. So now I can take this one down. Okay, so here we have the dividers, and here I have my very handy pair of scissors. And okay, so they're kind of upside down now. What is going on? This is the first one. This is the second one. Third one. Fourth one. No, it is not. I believe this is... What order is this even in? Oh, I think I got the wrong order. Okay, that looks like it's supposed to. So then I just take and cut the rest off. I usually get a little abstract here just to get the excess away. And then I just trace and kind of follow the same line that, you know, the tab has. In this case, it's a little more tricky because it's a lot of shape to it, which I love, but it makes it a bit more hard to cut. And I kind of go back and forth like this to make the cut as kind of even and pretty as possible. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the kind of finished tab when I have cut it by hand. You kind of see the shape better there. Then I just need to cut the edges. So that's the first one. Then I am just gonna do the same with all the rest. So here we have it, guys, the finished divider set. Now all the tabs are cut out and pretty, and I have also made all the edges rounded so I don't cut myself. But there is one thing missing though, and that's something that is one of the hardest parts of making your own dividers, which is hole punching them. Now I have a hole puncher here. This is a 6-ring hole punch from Rapesco, and you can choose the setting, like which size you want it to be. Of course, this is A5, so I want to go for, you know, the A5 setting right there. But the problem is that because, yes, it's A5, but as you can see, we have a couple of millimeters of an edge on the top as well as on the bottom. So, which means it's not exactly A5. It's a little bit bigger than that, which makes it pretty hard. I used to have a single 1 hole punch, not a 6 hole punch like this one, but it broke. Not very many hole punches can like punch through laminate. I've heard, at least. I've heard a lot of people that have broken there. So if you have a good tip on a single hole punch that fit planners and that can punch through laminating sheets and doesn't break after a while, like if you've had one for a long time, please let me know which one, which brand, and that would be very helpful. So for the past months, I've had to use only this one. This one cuts through, you know, or punches through the laminating sheets without a problem, so it's great. It's just, like I said, when I have it on A5 and it doesn't work exactly on A5. So once again, I think the page lifter to kind of try out how this is gonna work. So what I usually do, but this is trial and error, and all of them are kind of not always the same, which makes it even harder. But what I usually do is I have the A5 setting, and then I just make it a little bit larger, and then I just hope for the best that it's gonna work. let's see. Yes, I want it to flip this way, so I need to punch it this way. So it looks good, you know, but then we have to get the planner in here and see if it actually fits. So it's easier to try in the middle because I have a lot of stuff in here. So let's see. So this actually, wow, that was first. It's pretty much perfect. Let's see if it flips good. Yeah. Sometimes if it's too tight or too far, like if the holes aren't perfect, if you can't move it like this at all, it could be really hard to flip because it kind of gets stuck. But here it actually works. Well, it got caught in the rings a little bit, so, but it works, so that's good. Wow. Hopefully it will work for each of them so I don't have to change the setting. That was a first. That never happens, let me tell you. I'm gonna have this one here as a reference to get in and try each. So yeah, I'm just gonna do the dividers now and let's go to time lapse. If you see me doing this a lot, it is because that sometimes these little, you know, things from the holes get stuck in this one, I've noticed. So I have to make sure that it actually has the right setting. Like, yeah. Let's see. There we go. Also, I do this so that they kind of move around, so not all, because I only use this side and not this one, all of them kind of get bulked up down here, and that's why I try to shake it around a little so it doesn't get stuck. Let's see, the very last thing I have is the actual dashboard, so I'm gonna do that one. Oh, there it is again. Like when I can't move it like this, something is stuck. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, perfect. So now what we need to do is just to put the dividers into the planner. Let's see. This is so exciting because now it's actually gonna start to come to life, guys. So, all of a sudden we have a whole new theme. Look at that. So the dashboard is a big contrast, as you can see, to what it used to be. It's a lot darker, but I think it really goes well with this planner. Then we have the first divider, the inserts, second divider, more inserts, third divider, more inserts. I think these inserts also look pretty good with this setup, and that's why I'm not changing them. They came with the planner. I used them for my first setup, and I'm gonna use them with this setup as well, just because to fill it out. As of now, I don't have any exact plans with this one more than the fact that I want to set it up. So yeah, now I just wanted to show you how cute the tabs are. Look at that. This one kind of stands out a bit, and that is because I put the sticker a little too, well, high up, I guess, so that bothers me a little bit, but I mean, overall, it looks pretty good, I would say. And yeah, guys, that will have to be it for this video. I have done the dividers, which was the goal. So in the next part of this little kind of how-to series is me decorating the dividers, because that's something that I love to do and I'm so excited to get into it. I have so many pretty things I want to add. But until then, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now!